I have a question for all of you who read and study the Word of God. Do you believe that the God of Abraham is a good economist or not? In my opinion, the most brilliant statement on economic theory that I've ever read is found in the Bible. It's in Genesis chapter 11, verse 6. The Lord said, "If, as one people, speaking the same language, they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them." King Solomon wasn't a bad economist either. He said, "Money answers all things." Well, frankly, what we are talking about here is a situation where we are facing very possibly a rise in ocean levels of a meter every 20 years. It could be worse. Dr. Hansen has made the statement that if we did go too green too quickly and negated the global dimming effect, that all that ash in the atmosphere through burning coal, it does have a positive effect. It decreases the amount of sunlight striking the earth. If we negated that by going too green too quickly, global warming could actually spiral out of control, and the massive land-based ice pack on Greenland could melt more quickly, and the West Antarctic ice sheet that is below sea level could collapse much more rapidly, which threatens every coastal community in the world. So here we are, 6.5 billion people, many of us quite wealthy, and our political leaders are advocating a carbon shift policy. And I'm glad that they're taking this issue seriously. I love that fact. They're regarding this as a very real, challenging, difficult problem, and they're right. But I'm advocating that the best solution to climate change is to take 1 billion hungry people and get them growing food for themselves. One of the best ways I know of is through aquaculture. You can pump salt water directly to near a ridge in North Africa, out of the Atlantic, and at that ridge build a concrete complex of trenches and do aquaculture. Labor costs in those areas are quite low because their economy is pretty terrible. So they do aquaculture to produce fish, and build another type of facility where the tremendous heat there in North Africa is used to naturally desalinate the excess water with solar energy, and then get the water into the desert, so the water table in North Africa rises. And as we get fresh water that's been naturally desalinated by solar energy into the water table in North Africa, that water is not going to be on top of Holland or Beijing or New Orleans or Antigonish. And that is my response. Now, I'm biased. I live on a lake that's classified as tidal waters, so the problem of rising ocean levels concerns me more than if I lived in Ottawa. I also taught English in Ecuador for over a year, and real poverty bothers me more than if I had never seen it. As a matter of fact, I can't stop thinking about these people who had to make a living selling gum. Chicle de centavos. They'd go up and down the streets, in and out of buses, in and out of any facility where they were allowed to be, and they'd sell gum many hours of the day for 10 cents. They'd probably buy it around 5 cents and sell around 10, and they would make enough money to survive, but that is a rotten way to have to make a living. Anyway, we Christians have astonishing economic and political and artistic freedom in these latter days, when we're supposed to be able to consider all things perfectly, as Jeremiah mentioned. And if we look at the cause of global warming, I believe the more rational conclusion to come to is this is not just merely a socialist conspiracy to take away our cars. We Christians can get into an us versus them mentality. We're supposedly the good us, and the evil them are out there to get us. And I don't like this way of thinking. I do not believe that Al Gore's film, An Inconvenient Truth, was any part of a socialist conspiracy to take away our cars. I believe we have raised CO2 levels in the atmosphere to unheard of levels, and we are paying the consequences.